So until around 30 years ago or so, Naoshima Island was mainly used as a mineral extraction.
I think Chris made it to episode 401 piece.
Why did you just interrupt? So until 30 years ago, Naoshima Island was primarily being used as a mineral extraction and refinery site by the Mitsubishi company. When that operation shut down, the governor of Naoshima teamed up with the CEO of Benesse, not sure how to pronounce it, but anyway, they teamed up and transformed the island into its current reputation as an art island, with individual artistic sort of sculptures and pieces scattered across the island, as well as being home to several larger museums and exhibits. And to today, it's one of Japan's most successful art exhibit locations. Alright, first stop along the way, the Chichu Art Gallery. Designed back in 2004 by the famous Japanese architect Tadao Andao, this museum is built into the earth. It's a subterranean museum, and the reason for that is they didn't want large-scale structures on the top of the island's tallest hill to distract or take away from the natural landscape when sort of viewed from the island or from the nearby islands as well. I had intended to keep that video going, but they were very strict about cameras, and I pretty much had to put my camera away before I even entered the building. So, sorry about that, got cut off. Firstly, first thoughts, having gone through the museum, wow, that was incredible. I said earlier, I'm not an art guy. I still don't think I'm an art guy. I think I'm an architecture guy now. That was probably the best gallery I've ever been into, and not necessarily because of the artwork. So in the building, there were 3 artists showcased. Claude Monet, probably the most famous, and was the only one I had actually heard of before. There was also art from a guy named James Turrell and Walter Di Maria. Really cool, I'll put some pictures here. But like I already said, for me, the sort of showstopper was the building itself. I'll put some pictures up here of some pictures I was sneakily able to take of the building itself, which, as I said, maybe it's because I'm a nerdy engineer, not an artist, but for me, the building was the star of the show. All right, museum down. What's the next stop?
So food is the next stop.
Food, of course.
A lovely restaurant right on the other side of the mountain. Island.
Yes.
And it'll take us around 10 minutes to bike there.
Okay.
So let's go.
Cycle montage. One thing to remember is that Naoshima Island is not an art island. The art installations are a recent initiative to boost tourism to the area. So one shouldn't forget that actually this is a place that many people call home. One of the art exhibits encapsulates this perfectly, and that's known as the Art House Project. Unlike the other museum and art exhibits where famous architects aim to build these grand and magnificent structures all around the island, the Art House Project takes old residential buildings that are either no one's living in anymore, the owners have passed away or sold on, and they allow artists to come in and set up their own exhibits within these buildings. So where we are now, which is on the east side of the island, in the residential area that we're in, there are 7 separate different sites, each of which have their own art exhibitions set up and built within old non-used residential structures. This is the one we're going to now.
Okay, so the first house out of 6 that we were visiting is Minamidera, which was named after the temple that once existed on the site over there. And the cool thing about this one is viewers will experience the process of slowly finding light after being in complete darkness for 15 minutes. Last admittance in 2 hours. So we're gonna go do that now. Very excited. This is like a paradise island, except we have to go through there. And that don't look good.
I got a torch. Okay, so despite being previously enthusiastic, Georgie is now keen to leave. So, if we want to get the 4:25 ferry, we got to get a hustle a bustle on. We got to commit, and if we miss it, we'll have dropped off our bikes, and we'll have to wait for an hour or 30 minutes for the next ferry. We're gonna get a move on. Let's go. What gear are you in? Ooh.
Oh, drive you, man.
That is a post-rushed cycle sweat, and the electricness of the electric bike was not helping.
As a one-day activity, like as a whole day activity, I would say Naoshima is like up there. And if you like art,
Fine.
which you don't understand.
If you like art, that's fine. I didn't understand it. So
I don't understand it either.
I wasn't like a massive fan of the art stuff. I was a big fan of the architectural stuff. Naoshima Art Island finished. That marks our last day in Okayama and our last day in Chugoku as a whole. Tomorrow we are starting our week-long journey around the island of Shikoku, so stay tuned for fun developments on that.
So excited.